Hi, this is Gabriel from Pressgang. In this video, I'll show you how to create fleets for sailing races. There are three ways to create a fleet: when you're setting up a new event, or after an event is saved via the Sign-ups tab or from the Fleets tab. And there are two main options for fleets: no requirements and with requirements. Fleets with no requirements will need to have boats manually assigned to them, but fleets with requirements will automatically assign boats. Creating a fleet when you set up a new event is done under the Fleets section, but if you don't want to set them up yet, you can ignore this and do it later after the event has been saved. To create a fleet, click the Set Them Up Now radio button, enter a fleet name, and if you want to manually assign boats, leave the No Requirements radio button on. But if you want fleets to automatically populate when competitors sign up for the event, you have two options. Let's say we want to create an ILCA 7 fleet. We can click the By Boat Class radio button, then search and add the ILCA 7, and any competitors signing up with that boat class will automatically be added to the fleet. Or you can set a handicap requirement. We'll create a fast catamaran fleet and select by handicap rating range. Next, we can select an appropriate handicap system. We'll go with SCHRS. Then we need a condition, and finally a handicap rating. So for this fleet, any boat with an SCHRS rating below or equal to 1.06 will automatically be assigned to the fleet. You can create as many fleets as you want by clicking the Add Another Fleet button, or remove a fleet by clicking the red cross in the top right corner. After an event has been saved, you can create and manage fleets by clicking on the Fleets tab. If you haven't already set any up, you can click the Create Fleet button to open the dialog. The process is almost the same as when you're setting up a new event, but with one additional option that we'll get to in a minute. To start with, we'll create a fleet with no requirements and call it dinghies. Next, we'll create a fleet called ILCA 7, and this is the key difference. We can choose to either let the system auto-allocate boats to the fleet or leave it switched off. For this fleet, we'll switch it on and select the boat class, then click the Create Fleet button. We've already got boats signed up for this event, so the system checks to see which can be added. Most don't match the requirements, but these three do. Now we'll create a fleet where we don't switch auto-allocation on. We'll call it Fast Dinghies and set a Portsmouth Yardstick handicap requirement. This time when we click the Create Fleet button, there's no auto-allocation. If we go to the Sign-ups tab, you can see that the three ILCA 7s are marked as being in a fleet. If a boat isn't assigned to any fleets, the red cross is a quick visual check. We can try adding 3 boats to the Fast Dinghies fleet. To do that, we click the checkbox next to each of them, select Fast Dinghies from the Fleet drop-down, and then click the Add Selected To button. The system checks the fleet requirements, and because the Enterprise and National 12 have the wrong handicap rating, they don't get added, but the 29er does. The dinghies fleet was set up with no requirements, so if we check all of the boats except the 5 catamarans, select dinghies from the Fleet drop-down and then add them, they're all added. We can also create a fleet directly from the Sign Up tab. I'll select the catamarans, choose Create New Fleet from the drop-down, and click the Create and Add To button. We'll just leave this as a no requirement fleet. If we added any, then the system would check our selection of boats and only add ones that matched. So now if we go back to the Fleets tab, we can see our 4 fleets and the boats that are in them. You can manage boats in a fleet directly by selecting them and using the drop-down menu. The Move to Fleet option will remove them from the current fleet and put them in the one you selected. Add to Fleet will add them to the new fleet, but also keep them where they are. And Remove just takes them out of the current fleet altogether. One thing to note is that fleet requirements might prevent you from moving, removing, or adding boats. Now we'll take a look at subfleets. Subfleets will take the parent fleet's results and recalculate them, so you only need to enter the result data once. They're very easy to set up, and we'll run through the options using our catamaran fleet. And we do that by clicking the Create Subfleet button to open the dialog. Then we'll give the subfleet a name and choose a filtering option. For this one, we'll go with boat class. Add the Dart 15, and because we want all of them in the subfleet, we will check all of the requirements. After you save, the subfleet will show under the parent fleet. We can also use the class configuration option. For the Dart 18, we'll select only the solo option, and in the subfleet, only one boat matched. You can also filter based on handicap, and the process is the same as when you create a parent fleet. Select a system, add a condition, and then a rating. The two Dart 15s being sailed Unarig match the handicap condition for this subfleet. In addition to boat class and handicap, you can also create subfleets based on custom options. You can add these on the event entry form, or they can be added under the sign up tab. In this example, we've got an age field already set up that we can filter by. So we'll call this fleet masters, switch on filter by age, and then select the master option. And now we've got a subfleet for anyone in the master category. The final thing we'll cover is score and sign-on sheets. Under any fleet, you can click on the Print Score Sheets button to open up a printer-friendly scoring sheet that can be used on the committee boat. The order of the boats matches the order of the result entry table to make data entry easier. You can also print sign-on, sign-off sheets using the Print Sign-on Sheets button. And that's it for fleets.